Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, January 6th, and today we'll do well, not really midweek, but we'll do a RODY update. After one day with the market being open, to be honest, it was all kind of a last minute thing. I wasn't sure what video to make today, but decided to do a RODY update, and this one's going to be a little different. I'm going to update the numbers live to see like what it looks like from Friday to the close of yesterday, because yesterday was a really good day for a lot of stocks. So we can see, the actual change in the price for each of the contracts that are held in the RODY fund. So hopefully that helps understand more of what I calculate in the spreadsheet. But before that, another Bitcoin update. Looking good, man. It's 93,000, 93.6. So it's continuing to move up, which is good. It looks like this is the high of the 24 hours. Hit 94.7. So that's good. Is there more to come? Again, who knows? Let's not get too excited, but we can be happy at least. Oh, yeah. Thank you for confirming audio, brother. And good morning to everyone here that is live on X and YouTube. Again, all my live streams go on both YouTube and Twitter. And, you're both allowed to do a live chat, although most of the people do chat on YouTube. All right. And feel free to ask questions as we go, because I could see the questions on another screen. Okay. What is the RODY fund in a nutshell? It's basically me doing options. All right. It's me doing different types of options in my account. I made the decision late last year to kind of take a break from the high yield funds. And, I've been doing options, I've been doing like 50-50 options, and then, 50 options and 50 high yields. And I decided, let me see what I could do all on my own, like I'll not say the whole account, the most of the account in trading options. So we're trying different strategies this year. One we call the RODY, which is basically a synthetic collar selling weekly calls. And then another is like a zebra. We call it a zicket. It's a zebra selling a weekly call. But all of them are going to be income plays, including credit put spreads, which we call, the side pieces. Again, we got weird names for everything just to make it fun and entertaining, of course. But yeah, that's the moral of the story. It's just an options party, All right, so let me zoom in. All right, so again, we got definitions. This is all on the template that I share in my Discord. I'm not really going to go through it right now. I'm also not going to go through the rules or charting because I did not give you guys an updated chart. But I do, have specifics on what I add to the charts that I use on Thinkorswim. I'm not sure if you guys also, try to set up SMAs, EMAs. But again, that's a video in itself. There's no point on trying to, discuss it now. The VIX, I added this to the other tab, so I can actually delete this now because we are VIXing, all right? And I'll show you why in a second. And then, of course, we have the watch list. A lot of these I already own a piece, which is Open, SOFI, ELF, Hood, Palantir, IWM. I don't own SPY, but I do own, when I say own, I own a synthetic position. But I do have QQQ. I do not have SPY. The hesitation is the low IV and the expensive cost. I'm actually, debating on even adding it at all. Like, is it worth doing, this RODY strategy using the SPY? It's safer, right? We'd call it safer than the other two indexes. But is that yield worth it? I don't know. Again, up to, debatable. Then we have gold and silver. Again, I gotta add these at some point. I just don't know a good entry point. Silver's been running again, so it's kind of running away from me. But we'll see if we get a chance. And then I did add NFLX. NFLX is my first zebra, zicket, whatever we're calling it. Pretty sweet IV at the moment, 44%. Not bad for, a nice, stable company, right? And the price is actually near the low, 52-week low. So how much further is it going to go? I don't know. We shall see. All right, then we got screenshots, but again, nothing new there. And then we're going to jump right into open. So right now, we're just going to talk about the various funds that I hold. I didn't do any new trades yesterday since the last video, right? Typically, I do my trades on Friday because that's when all of the options expire. And to be honest, when I was doing the wheel, I was trading almost every day, and that becomes a nuisance, when you're working. With this new strategy, I strive to let the extrinsic part of the premium minimize to nothing or close to nothing. And in order to do that, in most cases, you have to wait until the Friday, especially if the price is close to your strike. If it's not, like it's a clear win, you could do it on the Thursday or whatnot. But I do some on Thursday. Most of them I do on Friday. So that being said, it just makes my life easier that I only have to worry about trading on Friday afternoons, basically. And as a full-time worker, which a lot of us are, right? That's huge for me. All right. Because I can't sit on the computer all week. You can't. So there's nothing you could do. All right. So anyway, open, we have the three legs, the buy call, the sell put, the buy put again. So this is the synthetic combo, these two, buy call, sell put, same expiration date, same strike. And then this was what they call the collar, right? They buy put, but we buy a put at obviously a lower strike because it would defeat the purpose if we bought the put at 7, because it would cost probably the same amount and offset. And again, what's the point? You might as well just buy the call and leave it alone. And that would be a poor man's covered call. But it's not a poor man's covered call. It's a synthetic collar because we do have $2 protection for each share here. So again, that's your downside protection. It's also the collateral required. So again, this 5, it helps us. It helps us, save some collateral, and it helps us from downside protection. All right, and then we go to the calls. You can see, all right, we did a $7 covered call. At the time, it was 18% out of the money. I didn't really get much. As you may recall, I got 3 cents per share, $31 for all 10 contracts. But again, I chose 7 because this thing is insane. And look, now we're 10% out of the money. It's at 632. Pre-market, it's up 1% already. So again, this one's a tough one to trade, and it's been in this range. It's been in the 6 to 7, barely 8 lately. I should have kind of waited to restart this open position at 6, but I did it at 7. And to be honest, this is probably the last time I have an open position outside of leaps or hoppers, as we call them. But right now, again, you could see this is one day because I opened this position Friday afternoon, I think, from what I remember, or Thursday, whatever. But either way, 8% over 1 or 2 days. It's insane. All right. Anyway, let's go to the open holdings. Again, this is the synthetic. So what I normally do is I have this prepared at the time I make the video. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to pull it up on your side. I'm going to leave this up, and I'm going to go to another screen, and then we're going to pull up open, and then we could see, okay. So again, this is how much I paid for the buy call, 305. This is how much it was worth on the Friday close, 186. So again, open went up yesterday, so obviously it's going to be worth a little more. So I look at my Thinkorswim app, and it has a value of 198. So obviously, yeah, it's going to go up in value. But when I go to the right over here, you can see the unrealized. I might have to zoom out a little. There you go. So there's still, I'm still 35% down on that buy call. Because again, when I opened it, it was around $7. So, now we're at 632, and also some extrinsic did burn out of that value. All right, and then we have this sell put. Again, this is a value that you want to be minimal. You want it to go down over time, right? So you want 263 to be a lesser number, right? So since open went up, we would expect this number, because we have to pay this to close it. So if we look at our put, it's worth $2 now at $2.56. Okay, so obviously, you could see, you go from there to here. We're actually in a $70 profit. So if I closed out the put by itself, net, I would make 70 bucks. That's up 2.66%. And then we go to the buy put. Again, this was a $5. This one, we'll see what happens. It's worth $1.28. So it went down in value since open went up in value. It's 1.285. So obviously the profit is going to go from 44% down to negative. All right. So because it's worth less than when we bought it. So then that's how we get the unrealized every time, we make this video. These numbers, I always have it pre-filled, but not today because I wasn't prepared to do a RODY update. So you're going to get the updates with me, and we're going to talk about them as we go. All right. Hopefully that's all right. But anyway, let's go to the comments. Cutterman says Netflix is going to drop. Well, Netflix has been dropping, so that's nothing new. Hopefully, it recovers at some point, right? After this stupid merger talk is over and we can move on. Morning Coasty Dividends, morning SB. So far from the 200 that I have in crypto, I am up to 15. What do you mean 200? Did you invest $200 in crypto? All right, so we're going to move on to SOFI. Again, SOFI, I have synthetic positions. I have five contracts. Obviously, I sell covered calls on all five. I have a $28 strike. On Friday, when I rolled this, it was 6.22% out of the money because it was at 26.36. Yesterday, SOFI closed at $29. I know. What the hell happened, right? It went up a lot. I mean, that's a big jump. But, was it due? Maybe. But again, this is like I'll believe it when I see it, right? This is like a fake out. It always comes back down. But maybe, hey, if it stays, it stays. I really, whatever. I'm good. As long as I'm around the $28 range or above, we'll deal with it. But for now, we are 4.37% in the money. We are in the money, which means if this expires at this price on the Friday, this gets assigned. But obviously, we will not let this get assigned because we don't own the shares. We own a synthetic position. So that's why we roll. We roll every week. We also have a SOFI side piece. This expires on the Friday. We did sell a put for 25. We bought a put for 23. Again, the idea is if SOFI stays above the 25, then this is going to expire worthless. But my thought process around the side pieces is I'll just roll it, and every time it expires, I'll roll the side piece out further and hopefully, collect more money. Because again, this 25, this represents where I would add more contracts to my SOFI position. And that's the idea behind the side piece. But right now, it's far away from that 25, which is good for the credit put spread. But when I roll the new position, if I keep it at 25, it's not going to pay out as much as it did when I opened it. Because when I opened it, it was at what, 27? So we'll see. We'll see what Friday happens on Friday. All right. So now we got the SOFI update. So now you're going to see some changes, which is, some changes in a good way. So let's check this out. All right. So again, I'm not going to pull up Thinkorswim on the other screen. I'm just going to leave the spreadsheet with you guys. Let's see SOFI. All right. So first, we're going to do the buy call at 26. 6.275. So look at that change from 5 to 6.275. So we went from down 463 to down 88 bucks. So again, is that good? It's okay, right? Again, you can see it cost more to open the position, but we had a lot of time. This was opened in the past. So again, a lot of extrinsic burn in that process. And then we got the sell put for $3. We want this 495 to go down. Again, the sell put 26. It's at a 2.545 value. So if I plug that in, 2.545, obviously it's cheaper to close. You could see it was at a profit of 34%. Now it's profiting at 48%. When I say profit, it just means when you would close the this sell put, when you do a buy to close on the sell put, that's how much you would make. Then we got the buy put here, 23 bucks. Obviously, if the stock goes up, your buy put value was going to go down, which is okay. This is only here for our protection. We don't want to use the protection. Let's see. Unless we have to, of course. 1.53 is the value. So obviously it goes from 1.85 to 1.53. It's a lesser value, making, again, lesser unrealized. And then, of course, as you may recall, I keep saying, reminding myself, stupid dumbass, what are you doing? I averaged up when SoFi jumped. I'm like, I don't want to miss out. So I added a 31, but whatever. Let's update these numbers too. Two contracts, call 31, 3.825. So again, this went up in value, but not by much, a little bit, just a little bit. All right, 592 was the price of the $31 put. Now it's at 5.125, so that's good. It's much cheaper to close now. And then our buy put of 25, we got to find that sucker. It's worth 2.25, so obviously that went down in value. Okay, so when all said and done, our SoFi synthetic is worth 1,660. That's an unrealized loss of 544. Again, if you closed it today. But, you know, I have, you know, what this has until May 15th till we have to close it. You know, there could be reasons we would close it early, but in most cases, you would just let it drag out until 5:15 and either roll or close the position. All right, that's the update on SoFi. I'm going to go to the chat because I can't see it when I'm doing those updates. All right. Hello, Backyard Prospector says, hello. Hello, brother. There's Bruce. Do you guys, again, the way this RODY update is positioned, it's really a Saturday video. The only good thing about doing it during the week is we could do like more basics. You guys can see more of the spreadsheet action. But, you know, feedback is welcome. If you guys are interested, I'd like to know too. If you're not, let me know. All right, anyway, let's jump to ELF. ELF on the shelf. Again, ELF's got one synthetic contract. They got one covered call. ELF was jumping around yesterday. It was up pretty good, and then it went back down. But I did a 81 strike because of that reason, because it can do that, and because I didn't have to earn a certain amount of premium from it. So I've been rolling this one up a little bit because I kind of have a thought that it could recover. But again, who knows? So right now, obviously, you can see it did go down. It went from 4.87% out of the money to 5.41% out of the money. But again, we got 4 trading days left, so we'll see how all that plays out. Now, here we are at the holdings. So obviously, if we saw the value of ELF went down, then we would see this go down. So if I go to the spreadsheet on ELF, the brokerage, we go to the buy call +1. Again, yeah, a buy call would show +1 in your brokerage. Its value is now at 1260. And then the value of the sell put is now at 910, negative 9.1. So it cost a little more to close this put because, again, the underlying did drop in price. If that makes sense. Again, if you have questions, let me know as we go, since we are live. And then we got the buy put. It says worth 3.925 now. So obviously right now the value of the ELF synthetic did go down because ELF's price went down, but the unrealized is still up by 214. All right, so that's the update on ELF. Robinhood had a really good day too. We have 3 contracts on Robinhood, and we have all of them at one strike of 130. If we look at the pre-market, again, you don't. The reason I'm looking at this one is because Robinhood is actually, we chose a strike that's under our synthetic average, which gets scary, right? Why is this like loading? There it is. All right, so In the pre-market, again, this is as of 6:23 a.m. Robinhood is up, but it's only up 0.37%. So that doesn't really mean anything. So again, but when I opened the position, it was 15% out of the money. You figure, yeah, that's safe. Barely, because now we're 5% out of the money. So this strike is in danger. It is. And again, the problem is my synthetic average, if I go over here, is 135. But the reason I did not choose a 135 when I rolled this position is because it paid nothing. It almost paid nothing. So I had to go with by the way, the 0.04 delta. Again, 4%, my ass, this is their likelihood of assignment. Again, 4%, my ass with your freaking deltas. You can't trust deltas with some of these stocks. They move too rapidly. I do have the hood side piece as well, but that expires down the road. So now let's update these. Unfortunately, there's 3 different strikes, so it's a little pain in the ass. So let's get through this real quick. So we got one contract at the 145. It was worth 805. Let's see what it's worth now. It's worth 11.125. I mean, that's a big change. That's nice. It's still underwater, but still, that's not bad. Then the sell put, it costs $31.40 to close from 36, so that's good. And then the buy put, obviously, this will go down in value. It's a buy put 115. It would pay 13.625, which is obviously less. All right, so that's that one. And then we got the 140, buy call 140. How we doing? It's worth 12.60. So again, big jump in price. We'll take it. The sell put should cost less. Right now it's 25.90. So we're looking at the sell put for the 140. And it costs 28.10. Nice. Again, cheap to close. This, of course, is on paper. The stock moves up and down every day. So you can't get too concerned with this. The reason I'm doing this is obviously for recording purposes, to give you the experience with me, to show you, what we're looking at. What is the point? What happens? Why is my portfolio moving up and down? And this is why, right? Because you can see the current value changes each and every day. So the buy put 110, what do we see? We see 11.55. So obviously that dropped in value. And now we go to the buy call 120. This one is in a really good spot now. It's worth 20.575, which is good. This is the only one actually worth a damn as compared to what I paid to open it. The sell put at the 120, we're looking at, what do we got? 16.025, so much cheaper to close that one. And then we got the buy put 95. Where are we at here? That's worth 6.275. So obviously it's worth less because we don't need the protection as much. So all said and done, oh my God, are we actually in a positive value? Look at that. It's in the positive, which is good. However, the unrealized is bad still. It's negative 4,196. So Robinhood, again, this is my worst position at the moment. It's just because of my entry point, though. So again, I feel good about it. I think it'll be okay. So, all right, let me check on some comments. Jose, yes, I'm testing it out with $200 to see how long it would take me to double. What, on Bitcoin? I mean, I don't know, man. Hopefully soon. What's up, LA Appliance? On the 0.28, on the 28 calls I sold on Friday, I made 0.49. Weird that you were so much lower. Well, I'm talking about SOFI. Good morning, Cisco. Absolutely killed it selling covered calls on TSLL and CLSK yesterday. Congrats. It's good to see everyone doing options. We got the educator mom here. So, she's going to educate us. So be nice. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go to PLTR, or as the smart folks say, Palantir, or PLTR. All right, so Palantir, they have 2 synthetic positions, or I have 2 synthetic positions, a 190 and a 180. Obviously, that cost basis would be 185. So my covered call, I'm at 185. At the time, it was 5.25% out of the money. This was on, I don't know, I guess the Friday. It was, I thought PLTR was up yesterday. But whatever. Maybe it came back down because yesterday was kind of weird towards the end. But now it's more out of the money. It's 6.3% out of the money. So this is an example of when it actually went down in value. I do have a side piece. This one does not expire this week. It expires next week. So let's just update the holdings. Okay. We're going to go to PLTR. Again, so we got the buy call at the 190. It was worth what? Well, it did cost $36.38. It was worth $15.40. What's it worth now? Probably not much change here, but let's see. 18.125. Wow, 18. So obviously a lot changed since. I don't remember when I opened that. See the tracker though. When did I open that position? I'll have to check. Execution date 1/2. Yeah, that was Friday. Yeah, I don't know what time of day though. All right, doesn't really matter. Sell put 190. Let's see, 31.325. So this one did go up. See, sometimes the numbers can get a little weird. Buy put 150. What are we looking at? 11.55. And then we got the buy call 180. 21.975. Wow, that went down a lot. Well, I don't even remember what it was. I just wrote over it anyway. All right, sell put 180, 25.375. And then, of course, we got the buy put 145. Where the hell is it? 10.05. All right, so again, I think this changed for the worst. The position is worth 500. If I closed it today, that would give me that would give me a loss of 2,776. But again, that is all unrealized because this position expires on May 15th. One thing to consider though is we do have the sell put. Now the sell put of the 190, this could get assigned early, as could the 180. So that's one thing to always keep in mind as we get closer to the expiration. So for those positions that are very, very beat up underwater, again, I'll have to start thinking about that as we get closer. All right, let me get to some comments. Again, we're doing a comment after each fund because we're doing whatever the hell we want. All right, it's our show. Did everyone get their Misty distribution from Friday? When was payday? Or maybe it was the Monday because of the holiday. Bruce said he did. ONDS was on a tear yesterday. Yeah, I still don't really follow them much. Double D off to work. Have a good day at work. All right, so let's move on to the next fund, IWM. Again, we got one contract on them. We got a 250 average. So let's take a look at our covered call. We did lower our strike when we rolled to 250. It was 1.36% out of the money. Of course, IWM did go up, and so now we are in the money. Okay, so again, this is in danger of assignment. Well, not really. It's only Tuesday. So since this position expires in 4 trading days, we'll just keep an eye on it. And again, like I said, we'll wait till the Friday, and then we'll make our move. We'll either roll it up, we'll roll at the same price. We'll just decide. We'll decide at that point in time. Meanwhile, we can take a look at our synthetic position and see if it went up in value. All right. So if we look at the IWM synthetic, we got the buy call, we got the sell put, and we got the buy put. The buy call should be going up in value. You can see it was worth $24.73 per share. So now if we look at the buy call, it's worth $27.43. So just flip the numbers basically, but it went up. So it goes from $2,473 in value to $2,743 in value, which now puts it in a profit. Now, if we go to the sell put, the 250 sell put, it used to cost $18.72 to close. Now, if I look at my brokerage, it shows that it cost $18.11 to close, which means we actually flipped this into a profit as well. So again, not bad. And then we go to the buy put, the 235. Let's take a look at that. That should go down in value. It was worth $13.97 per share. It's now worth $12.735. So obviously here you can see it was in a profit. If we click off, it's going to flip red. So now it's not in a profit because obviously it went up in value. The underlying went up in value, which makes the buy put, the bearish play, less valuable. All right, which is a good thing. Again, these are mostly bullish plays. The bearish plays are just a small portion of the overall positions, just to save our asses, right? All right, so let's go to the comments, see what you guys got going on. Nothing much. All right, yeah, just let me know if you have any questions as we go. All right, so the next one would be the Qs. Again, my more expensive position. Was not cheap to open this one. So thankfully, I haven't had to average down, but my synthetic is at 615. My covered call that I sold or rolled, actually I can hide this old number, is I rolled it to 619. At that point, it was 1.3% out of the money, and now we are sitting 0.16% out of the money. So it's still okay. Ideally, I would love it for it to end here on the Friday. And then I could roll it again, probably at 619. I'll probably inch it up to 620 because it won't, I'll still get a massive credit. But, that's the beauty, man. If these things move slowly, move up, move down, if everything is slow movements, this strategy is killer. It's when you get the big swings, especially down, which, it really hurts us. Big swings up are a pain in the ass, but they're good for us, but it's still a pain in the ass. Now, if we look at the Q holdings, obviously it looks like the Qs went up yesterday. So let's go take a look over here and let's see the value of the Qs. So we go to the buy call. We got the 615. It was worth 61.205. Now it's worth 64.485. So if I go over here, we were in a negative, right? We're still in the negative, but a little less. Now, if we go here, the 615 put, what's that worth? How much does that cost to close? 43.11. So a little less. So that's good, right? And then we got the buy put, the protection, the 590. That is worth 34.535. So it's worth a little less. So when all said and done, our current position is worth 5,591, which gives us an unrealized of negative 509. But again, that's okay because this one expires way in the future, December 18th of this year. I can now say this year. So it's got time. Time is on its side. Yes, it is. All right. So what else we got going here? You guys are complaining about your Misty payments, I guess. I got my Misty on Schwab yesterday. Cooper, welcome. No Misty payment from Friday yet. So I guess there's somewhat of a delay going on lately. A lot of the time. All right, there's Nikki. Just woke up. Good morning. All right, now let's get to who's next? We got the Zicket is next. So if we go to the Zicket, what the hell is the Zicket? It's a zebra. So if you're not familiar with the zebra, the zebra trade, it's buying two leaps essentially and selling a call on one of the leaps. All of them have the same expiration date. You could do long dated, you could do shorter dated, you could do whatever the hell you want. I chose a January of 27, so it goes out more than a year. So I chose Netflix because I thought they were oversold, but again, what the hell do I know? I chose a strike of 85, which, it was in the money because again, it was priced at 93.75. It's now at 91, so hence, obviously, we're down in value, but that's okay. That's okay. Again, the expiration date is January 15th. The idea is it will go up in value in due time, in 382 days now. So hopefully. And then, of course, we do sell a call at 105. This 105, it was 12% out of the money at the time. So, this essentially, the idea behind selling one of the contracts, selling one call, is you're eliminating the extrinsic cost of the two leaps together. All right. So you're eliminating all extrinsic costs. So you're just left with the cost of the intrinsic, which, that's a deal. That is a freaking deal if you think about it. But anyway, that's the position. So what does this mean? It just means it leaves us one contract. So I got one contract to play with. All right. So now I go to my one contract and I sell calls on it. So last Friday I had a 96. I rolled it to a 96. It was at 92, 4% out of the money. Now it sits at 4.96% out of the money. What's Netflix doing lately? Let's check. Let's check the pre-market, see what's going on. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Oh, see, a little green. Again, this thing don't move much. It's been only red lately, but so it's nice to see any green. But yeah, man, we'll see how it goes. All right. So anyway, like I said, this expires Friday, and we'll just update. There's only two positions here to update: the long call and the sell call, because there is no buy put. There is no sell put either. All right. So let's go to the brokerage, and we'll see what they're showing as the as at values. 1905 for the 85. Wow, went up. Yeah. We'll take it, baby. 1905 for that. And then the sell call, again, when you sell the call, we got a credit, right? We got 1,161. So I'm showing the as at value. And the as at value, this would define how much it costs to close the position. All right. So obviously, the lesser the value, the better. So if I go to the 105, I see that it does cost 1010. So it did go up. It costs a little more to close. But overall, you can see the value of the position. The zebras are 2,800, right? And then the unrealized, just make sure. Yeah, it is calculating against the number of contracts, which is good. Yep. All right. So anyway, unrealized negative 233. But again, this position dates it expires until January 15, 27. So we got a year. Time is on our side. All right, moving on. That's the update on the zebras and the RODYs. Now we are on the hoppers. What is the hopper? Again, it's just a leap. What I'm going to do, well, I have two opens. These are garbage, though. They expire in May, and they're probably not going to be worth a damn. But I'm just leaving them in case. But I do plan on, when I exit the open RODY position, I'm probably just going to open some leaps on open as my, they're my lottery ticket. They're my lottery ticket play. Because I like it, I think it's a fun story. Open army. I just think it's, it's a gamble. It's just funny, It's funny being a part of those DGen plays. All right, so let me get to some comments before we resume. What do you get when you cross spread a zebra and a cricket? A meeting with the ethics board and your funding stops. Da-dunk. Good morning, all. Clive the driver. So, yes, Clive is awake. Everyone's getting awake. We are slowly getting awake. It is 6:42 a.m. on the Tuesday. Hopefully, it's another greenish kind of day. All right, so then we got the VIXing tab. Again, this is my protection on the downside. So what's the idea behind it? The idea is the VIX is at a low, because if we look at the chart, this is the max chart. If I zoom in 200%, you could see, this is all time. You could see it kind of trades around the $20 range, right? $20 is the range. So anything under 20, it's considered the market temperament is low. Like it's safe. Like people feel safe. There's no fear, right? In fact, here's how it's identified at the current price, which is 15, right? Did it close at 15 again? I guess it did. Calm, low volatility. Markets are stable. Risk is perceived as low. Okay, which is fine. So what I did is I bought a leap at 14. And this thing expires. And yes, you can buy leaps. You can buy options on the VIX. You just can't buy the VIX, right? You can't wheel the VIX because you can't get assigned the VIX. I don't know what happens. I guess you just have to cash settle. all the time. But regardless, we just bought a leap. It expires 9/16/26, and the idea behind it is, you know, typically when the market sells off, big sell off, the VIX is going to go up. It's going to go very high. And then you could see like the various events, like the tariffs time in April, thing went to 60, right? So I'm not saying we're going to have the same crap, but again, it's at such a low that between now and September, if the market tanks or if the market gets fearful, this would become of more value to me, and it will make me money. If not, then it was a waste of $800, which is what I spent on it. All right. Again, I don't know what this is the first time I'm trying this. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Weekly income, nothing yet because I didn't make any trades. As mentioned, typically I make all my trades on the Friday, or some on the Thursday, most on the Friday. But the goal for each week in the month of January is 765. That's a very easy goal. I barely got it last week though. Last week was a little harder than I thought because again we had like the late sell-offs, the tax loss harvesting, so it was tough to roll some positions. I think this week will be a little better. I don't know. We'll see in due time. All right. Obviously, monthly income. This will get updated. But I did the portfolio overview yesterday in case you guys missed it. But this was part of that. I made 5,013 for the month of December, which is okay. It seems to be 5,000 seems to be the number as compared to last month. The RODY as that. This will fill in as we go, but I did not make, as mentioned, any money yet. Now, the active holdings tab, all of that information I was entering before, all that work, that gets plugged in here. And so now you can see if there's, any change in value. So what, the as at, we can just fast forward down here. So we can see the as at value open. I am, down. Did it show I was down on the Friday? But again, open, I'm showing I am down 18%. SOFI, I am up 83%. ELF, I am down 26%. Robinhood, I think it was down like 80% until yesterday. Now I'm only down 32%. PLTR, I'm up 0.18. IWM, I'm up 19.35. The Qs, I'm up 25.33. Again, this is as at. And Netflix, I'm down 5.93. So all in all, it looks like I am now up. Luckily, I am up 3.51%, which is much better than what we saw on the Saturday. So now, based on that daily ROI on when this strategy incepted, which again, I don't even know if this is an accurate thing anymore because the inception should be, who's the oldest ticker here? SOFI probably, right? Let's go, SOFI. Who's the second tab? Because I did reestablish. Yeah, so 10/13 is actual inception date. So technically, yeah, we're up. Our daily is 0.04, annualized 15%. So am I on target? No, because my goal is 50. But again, I'm not, too concerned at the moment. You can see we flipped green on profits out of pocket. SOFI, we are green. We're working to get to flip green on the others. Palantir probably could be within the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're, it's going to take a little longer on these others, but, again, we know about Robinhood. We know about ELF. ELF, we're playing catch up. But so that's that. Here's the exposure breakdown. Am I diversified? I mean, not really, but, I'm very heavy on Robinhood. I'm heavy on Palantir. And then heavy on the indexes is okay, but I'm not heavy enough. But again, that'll get fixed in due time. And then we go to the important dates to keep track of. We have the side piece expiration. One expires this week. So what I'll do is I'll roll this into a week after this date. So that way I'll have a side piece every week, helping me build up my earnings. And then you got the actual stock earnings dates. And the next one to worry about is Netflix at January 20th. So again, I think based on their last, I think they sold off in their last earnings, and they've been down ever since. So I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Hopefully not more of the same. But if it is what it is. We might have to average down on our Zicket and go from there. But if it goes up, then great. All right, what else we got? We got a lot in February. We got Elf, Hood, and Palantir also earnings in February. And then, of course, SoFi is late January, which we missed, but there it is. And then ex-dividend date for the indexes. I need to keep this in mind because this is going to happen while we're trading it. And if our calls get in the money or close to the money, you damn well better be ready to get assigned. If you don't want to get assigned, then you have to take measures to avoid that. So I did not last time, and I got assigned. So, all right. So that's the update on RODY. Again, I didn't have a plan to do a video today on. I don't know. I was just like, I'll wake up and I'll figure it out. And here we are. I don't know if this helps. Can you guys just let me know? Again, I do share this spreadsheet format if you guys are interested in doing a similar strategy. The template is in the Discord under the spreadsheets channel. No energy. We're working on getting it. Started my diet yesterday, so it was it's been only one day. It felt like a long ass day though, but I already feel better, to be honest. Good morning, ETF Inspector. I was thinking of trying the RODY style trade on Palantir. Yeah, man, if you believe Palantir is at a good price at the moment, and why not, right? But yeah, if you have any questions, reach out, brother, because it's a fun play. I don't know. I think it's fun. If you look over the past month, yeah, everything's year to date. You want 1 year. 1 year it's dominating. So over 1 month, though, they're down 2%, 174. Again, if you get in now, you're in a much better spot than when I got in. So for whatever that's worth. Eyes have to adjust to find reading glasses. Getting old. All right, so what else we got? We got any questions otherwise, or is it clear as mud, as they say? 93.8. Yeah, it's just chilling at the 93.8 price. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys and gals. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun. Oh yeah, fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, whatever. I'll probably do the next RODY update on the Saturday. To be honest, if you want to update sooner, let me know. But there's not much to talk about besides as you saw, the as-at changes. So you can see whatever synthetic positions you have open. Obviously, when that underlying moves up or down, just like YieldMax funds, your value of your portfolio is going to move up or down. But the big moves are what happens on the Friday, and that's the expiration date where I typically just roll all of my positions into the next week. And more than likely, I won't let any expire or I won't buy to close. I will just roll them because I always want to be part of the action, because the idea on this type of trade, at least in my eyes, I'm not timing the market. So I'm always in the game. I'm always earning premium. I'm not doing, all right, let me wait till Monday because Monday's going to jump. I should have done that. Obviously, Monday did jump. But every time I have done that, it hasn't worked out for me. So I said, you know what? I'm tapping out on timing the market because I can't time the market. So I'm just going to always make premium through the weekend. All right. So brother says, looking forward to your health journey, Rod. Yeah. My lazy ass, what I usually do, at least over the last like 15, 20 years, is I diet typically either around like January, February, March, and then I try to get in better shape by May, June. That way I'm good for the summer. And then I get, a little heavier towards the winter and I restart it again. But over the past like 3-4 years, I haven't really done the diet as I should have. So I've been slowly, I'll say, gaining a little more weight, than I should have. So now I don't know. It's hard. If you're not mentally ready to diet or like count your calories or whatever, then it's just not going to happen. I go to the gym, not going to say every day, but at least, 4 days a week. I try to run the other days. So that's not, that's nothing's changing there. Obviously, when you're dieting though, you do have more motivation working out because you don't feel like a fat ass when you're working out. And then you feel like, okay, there is a reason because I am actually going to weigh in at some point. So you do want to see a better result. When you're not weighing in at all ever, and you're just kind of like blah, then it's like, I'll go to the gym and or I'll run. Should I do that extra mile? Nah. But I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk about that more because that's, always a passion of mine, health and exercise. I know that's not what this channel is about, but it's important. I like Friday price a lot more, obviously, but I was looking through all the options premiums. Yeah, maybe I can come back down today. Let's see. Palantir's up about 0.5% in the pre-market, it looks like. Good morning. What's the key word? I mean, Grumpy's ready to go back to bed, I guess. We'll get to it. I'll let you guys tell me. Yeah, everyone's leaving me. See, look at this. That being said, yeah, keyword time, I guess. We did the as always not financial advice, right? Again, this YouTube channel for this year is, you could see I already have I have 2 videos planned out for next week. So I'm already filling out next week. Monday is the options roundtable, where I invited some peeps from my options community to have a discussion. And the topic is how to pick the right stock to trade options on. And to be honest, I don't know the answer. Hopefully they do. But either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it. So that's the Options Roundtable, episode 1. That's Monday morning. Instead of the morning show, it's the Options Roundtable show. I'm not saying the morning show is dead, but it's taking a break. And then, of course, Tuesday, as promised, I'm adding Rec Shares content on a weekly basis. And we'll talk about their funds and see how they're doing, how they perform as compared to the underlying. And then we'll go from there. All right. Grumpy says, nah, I just woke up, about to go to the gym. See, there we go. We're going to the gym. What are you working, Grumpy? Legs. It's leg day, right? Make sure you do legs. Don't be skipping leg day. Anyway. All right. What's the key word, guys? I'm going to play my song. All right. Because I have fun with it. You guys are probably getting sick of it. I'm still not sick of it. Oh boy, ST, yeah, that thing's nuts. I'm done with it, man. I was wheeling it, It has really, really good premium. I'm sure it should be up after yesterday. But yeah, if you're a DGen and you like premium, why the hell not? It's cheap. But yeah, not financial advice. Biceps and triceps. Gun show. Watch out for the grumpy toad. Hope he doesn't rip his sleeves, right? Brother has some heavy ass tea bags. All right. Good to know. All right. What else, guys? Think of a keyword. All right. Do you want to think of the keyword during this song? All right. I'm going to play this song and then we're going to end it because I got to get moving. Busy ass week.
Ooh. Yeah. Good morning, friends. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Built, not sold, yeah, intentionally. No hype talk, just clarity. If you want that life, say freedom with me. Mid-40s, married man, house stay loud. Raising up boys, turning boys into men. New puppy running, chaos around. Still clocking in, but he plotting the end. Giants fan scars, yeah, he wear that pain. Smiles through the losses like part of the game. Never throw shots, never talks that mess. Yeah, builds people up, less results address. Yeah, streams every day, never missing a beat. YouTube live X when the mic get heat. Not selling dreams, just showing the math. Wins and drawdowns, full on his path. Spreadsheet brain with a streetwise frame. Plays of discipline, never chasing fame. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. Yeah, 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 yeah. Options on screen, risk handle precise. Structures built calm, every move got a price. Cover calls roll, protection in place. Time on his side, patience setting the pace. They say slow down, he say stay exact. Same calm tone when the market snap. Runs through mud just to test that will. Same mindset when the chart goes still. Sings on the post, crowd laugh, he grin. Go dig a hook, but the lesson still win. Movie quotes fly, wrestling frame. Serious work, but he keep it light, man. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset, moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. This was for fun and entertainment purposes. I hope you have fun and were entertained. And if not, I'll do better next time. And if you made it this far, and you want to make sure everybody knows, you got to say the keyword. Freedom!
All right. Keyword is RODY 2026. Thanks to Marcia, Educator Mom. Appreciate that. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. The keyword, as we said, RODY 2026. Let's go. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a good day. Later.